So before I even start this video, I'm going to try and capture this and see if you guys can see it. Can you guys see that this blade has been ground to a slight recurve? Let's see here if I can get it to focus. Can you see that? From here to here, this is higher and this is higher than it is in the middle. That's just pretty unacceptable, Benchmade. This is a pretty expensive knife you got here. Right there, you can see it. Right there in that area. Right where my thumb is. See that? Gonna be way more work than I had thought. Hey guys. Yeah, Benchmade. So, what we're going to talk about today, a Benchmade. Now, this is a Benchmade 940, and now it has been repaired. I did not, I'm almost done with it. There's some little stropping left to do, but I wanted to get this video done. I was not going to take you guys along on that journey. That was a bad trip. As you can see, me reevaluating my choice in beverage. So, why was it so bad? You saw the video. So what happens with a lot of, I don't know how they do it, there's a lot of Benchmades that come from the factory, and between here and here, there's a recurve. The Benchmade Anthem, this 940. Every 940 I've ever sharpened has had somewhat of recurve. This was a little bit worse. But I'm not here to bash Benchmade. I could do that in another video. It's pretty easy. Give us a second. Because what I'm going to talk about is the fact that I love the Benchmade 940. For all its little imperfections, the weird thickness of the tip, the way they're always misground and all that, the only Benchmade that I would buy. I would buy it at its retail price because I think it's worth it. I mean, I could get it home and fix it. It's a nice, light little EDC, pretty good purpose knife. Got a nice handle, really good ergos. It, with the exception of the way it's ground, in my opinion, is one of the best knives on the market. And I've said it before, I don't like Benchmades, but I do like the Osborne 940. Of all the Benchmades that are out there, the only one that if I had the money for it, I'd buy one. It does use the access lock. But the things about it are not just that it is well designed. It is a little thick. People have said it's a little thick, but it's not a very wide blade, so it doesn't give much time to thin before you get to the apex. The design of it, pretty good. This would be something that can ride in your pocket. It's really light. It's nice. This isn't going to be a real long video because all I'm going to do is tell you why I like this knife. The Osbornes, all of the Osborne designs, with the exception of that one that has the really crazy, the great big Osborne, are ones that I find, you know, on the better side of knives. And while these are not super high expensive, they're not cheap either. But they are nice. Action on them's always nice. This one has a little tiny bit of a centering issue, but I think if I tighten this pivot down, it's got a little bit of blade play. I think once I tighten this pivot down, that's going to rectify itself. But no, really well designed. Aluminum handles, utilitarian in purpose, easy opening. You got the access lock, so I mean basically you got an easy flip open knife. The blade has got a really nice, long, flat area, and then this has got, it doesn't really look like it, but from here to here, actually from about here to here, you got a lot of belly. And you can get up on that, and it's like having two knives in one. It's like having a really straight blade. It's kind of a reverse Tonto. Pocket clip. The pocket clip on this one is not bad. It really isn't. Access lock, the access lock, I'm not gonna lie, access lock on almost every Benchmade is always nice and smooth. There's not really much problems with it. I have a Gonzo that I'll bring out here before the end of the video, and I'll show you how a tight access lock looks. It was one that was given to me. I mean, now if you tighten it down too far, yeah, you're going to run into where you've tightened that axis lock. And then it's just some little things. Like there's some purple, it's green and purple accent, that titanium backspacer accent. And they're not hard to disassemble and clean up. They're really not. We've had Nico's axis lock apart and redid the purple on the backspacer. It's aluminum. It's got an aluminum hard coat. The ones that I've seen have always held up well. But this is a knife you can just beat the crap out of. It really is. It opens nice and easy. You can close it. Flips open. I'm not sure what it is about this design. It's ugly as a mud fence. Aesthetically, it's not attractive. It looks horrible. It's comfortable, and it's just one of those knives that just appeals to you for like a reason that you're not sure of. And you're like, hey, I kind of like that. So I am going to turn the camera around here in a minute. We'll get some shots of it up close so you can see it. This one is this thing's pretty much brand new. Brian sent this to me. It did have some severe issues, like most Benchmades do, with their sharpening. Other than that, that's the only thing that's wrong with it. And I'm going to take some tools and I am going to tighten up that pivot, and we'll see if, I might even do it on camera, and see if we can't rectify the centering on this and the little bit of blade play we got. So stick around with, I'm going to try and keep this a short video. But like somebody commented, made in the comments, like he said, yep, it's going to be at least, I say it's going to be a short video, probably going to be 15 minutes. Came out at 17. All right, guys, I'll be right back.
Guys, let me slide a little bit of stuff. I've been working on it. Let me slide some stuff out of the way. Mickey's cap. Anybody know what that one is? Door, fly, bracket, pie? I don't know. Anyway, so here is the famous Benchmade 940 Osborne. And I have sharpened it. It's already done. I talked to the customer to save him a little bit of money. There's an obvious spot where they got into this with the corner of the belt. The edge of the belt will do that. If you happen to get it at an angle up against the edge of the belt, you're going to get some deep scratches. Now, they don't go all the way to the apex. It has been cleaned up. I need a freaking manicure. My fingers are busted up. But it has been sharpened, and now that it's done, and that edge is straight, it's going to be much better, much easier to use. But like I was saying, I just wanted to focus on the knife itself for a minute. It is that ugly that you kind of dig. I don't know what it is about it. Don't know what it is about this knife that I have always liked. It's just one of those things that just appeals to certain people. Like, there's certain people that like Corvairs, which are attractive cars, and there's some people that don't. And then there's some people that like ugly cars. I mean, ugly cars. Action on these, always nice and smooth. I will say that about 99% of the Benchmades that you ever come across that have the axis lock, the action is smooth. It always is. And I'm gonna, now that we've got this here, I wanted to talk about this too. So any of you guys that do knife stuff, one of these is probably a good bet if you don't want to spend the money on a huge thing of Torx bits. They're double-ended. They're kept in the handle. This thing comes in so handy, and I think I've got the right one on here right now. Nope, it's one smaller. So it's this one right here. It allows you some latitude. It allows you some tools. We're going to tighten that pivot just a little bit. No, that's too much. It's tight now. But that definitely did correct the centering issue. Now let's see. It's still stiff. So I have to open that up and just loosen that. Now there's a trick to this, guys. There's a trick to playing with knives. You loosen the pivot, and you still till you've got the action you want, but do not have blade play. So there's a little bit of blade play, because I think we're right back where we're at. Give that one small little tweak. No pivot, or no blade play, and you have a little bit of tightness. I'm going to keep playing with it until I get it just right. But yeah, that's one of the things. That's one of the things every one of you guys' knives always gets. If the pivot feels loose, I take care of that. But no, there's some scratches, some deep scratches from they got that into the edge. Look at that edge of the belt, and it's just something that is kind of unavoidable sometimes. but most people would catch that. And let's zoom in. Let's see if we can get that to focus. So you can see they don't go all the way up to the apex. I've cleaned that up enough. But it's just something that, you know, for what you pay for Benchmade knives, that shouldn't really be happening. Yeah, I got to loosen that just a tiny bit. That might do it. There we go. If you look, now it's centered. All it took was a little bit of tightening the pivot. Now we got that loose action back, that nice smooth action. This thing does not, my camera does not want to focus today. So there you go, guys. Benchmade 940. Oh, yeah, that's right. I was going to show you guys. This is a it's not a Benchmade. This is a Firebird by, come on, work with me here. It's a Firebird by Gonzo, knife and tool. I've been using this one around the house. It's become a utility knife. Just so you guys know, there's a good chance this is the next giveaway. I'm not a fan of orange handles. So, all right, guys, that's pretty much it. I'll get this turned around and we will say goodbye.
Hey guys, that's it. The Benchmade 940 Osborne. I finally did a video specifically about it. It's a knife that I've, like I said, I love that knife. I really wish I could get one. I don't know how much pocket time it would get, but it's just one of those things that I've always wanted, and I don't know why. Don't know why. But, yeah. So keep your eyes open for this to go up as a giveaway. We'll see. Ooh, it's windy out here. It's blowing stuff around. I may have to roll my walls up so they don't get torn. It's something that I got in, and we may be doing it as a giveaway. I'm gonna carry it for a little bit longer. I actually like this knife. I do. The problem I have with it, it looks so much like a ProTech that it's bordering on the copying. You know, it's a clone almost, but not a counterfeit. It's so close. That's my biggest my biggest problem with this knife. But I used it to cut everything that got cut and popped loose, and this was what got used for out here for the canopy construction, because everything was zip tied and everything had little strings that had to be cut and all that stuff. So, all right, guys, that's it. I'm gonna try and keep this video a little bit shorter. Matt might be coming over tonight. We may be shooting a video together about something that he has on loan to me, and I figured, you know what? It's his knife. Let's have him in the video. It's actually really, really unique. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. All right, guys, that's it. I got other stuff I got to do. I got straight razors I got to sharpen. I got things that I got to clean up, and then I got to get stuff packed up so I can mail it out tomorrow. If you guys have stuff you want to send to me for sharpening or for refinishing, please contact me. My cell phone number is in the beginning of the video, right after the long intro. It'll be right there before we actually get into the nuts and bolts of this video. Don't be afraid I prefer text. I prefer text. And the other thing that you guys have got to remember is the prices that I have. Please don't send cash. If you can avoid it, please don't send cash. I really don't like doing it that way. I feel as though you're putting your money and your items at risk by sending cash through the mail. I'd much rather prefer do it via PayPal. If you are going to do it PayPal, I know a lot of people don't like to do friends and family. If you don't want to do friends and family, that's fine, but I will ask you for 3% to cover the fees. I lose 3%. I haven't been doing it. I'm going to start adding it. I'm going to have to have you guys add that 3% so that I'm not paying the fees. It's eating up. This business is basically, it's time consuming, and I do a lot of work, and I charge as little as I feasibly can and still make money. And if I'm paying 3%, even though for you guys it probably doesn't sound like much, it's only a couple bucks, but it still eats away from this business's fees, or this business's ability to pay for stuff. So it's been a good month. You guys have been awesome. It's great. I appreciate all the business that comes in. We did the auction. The auction came down to 2 people that were bidding back and forth. It wound up being Jeremy. Jeremy's also the gentleman that purchased the steel that my next batch of knives are going to be made out of. So, not to extend this video any longer, you guys take it easy. I love you guys all, and I will see you next time.